Hello again, thanks for joining me. How are you? I hope you're well. Right, bit of a special one this time. These are Lucy's pictures. There are pictures from me as well, but these are Lucy's. And I will explain more when I cut to the main event. But before I do, I just wanted to say, do you remember ages ago I was talking about how I wanted to use Harman Phoenix, the new colour film, it's not really that new anymore, from Ilford, on a proper bright sunny day. I was determined to get some shots I could be proud of from that film, and I always thought that having a proper bright sunny day and the right subject would do that. Last time I tried to do it, you may have seen the episode, I'll put a link, I was let down by the weather a little bit and probably by myself. But this time I went out to Knutsford and I got some really nice shots, I think, which is kind of appropriate because it's just around the corner from Ilford. Look at these. Isn't that nice? The halation works really well. The purple tones work really well. It looks summery, it looks retro. It's everything I hoped for from this film. So I've got that off my chest. We can crack on with the main event in Manchester City Centre, where I'm going to the art suppliers, Fred Aldous, to pick up some film for me and Lucy. So for this episode, a little bit different. It's not just going to be me taking photographs, it's going to be me and Lucy taking photographs, because Lucy has very kindly agreed to take part. And so I have a little present in here for both of us. Would you like to see what's inside?
Please. Ooh. Exciting.
We each have a roll of Lomochrome Metropolis, which is my favourite film from 2023. Those of you that watched that episode with the top 10 of last year will remember that this was one of my favourites. And we both have an Olympus XA2 camera. So the plan is that we will put a roll in each of these cameras, and then we will go and find an interesting place to photograph. And at the end of the day, we'll see who got the most interesting pictures or the most fun pictures. Will it be me? Or will it be Lucy?
I think so. I'm feeling confident.
Right, let's load up and see how we get on. So I paid £25.80 for these 2 rolls of Metropolis. A nice film with a muted colour palette and a few colours that pop. There we go. Ready for some fun. Let's go and try and find some. So we headed across town to the Metrolink stop at Victoria and tried to work out where to go. Weren't sure what the weather was going to be like, so we thought we'd play it safe and go to a town rather than the countryside. So we are on a tram and we are heading north. Lucy, what are you going to look for? What sort of pictures are you hoping to get?
I'm hoping to get some around the famous Berry Market, maybe some food, people, a bit of local colour. How about you?
Street stuff. I'll try and get some punchy portraits and gritty street scenes and lots of colour. So yeah, let's enjoy the tram ride. So we're headed to Bury, which was an important town in the Industrial Revolution. Probably best known nowadays for its black pudding and of course Berry Market, as Lucy already mentioned. It's about a half-hour tram journey from Manchester City Centre, and so not too far to go. The tram takes you right into the centre of the town, so there's no time wasted before we were able to get out and about taking photographs. We have arrived. We had a little wander around the town just to get our eye in. Didn't take any pictures, but just waved the cameras around a little bit. And then we decided to head for the East Lancashire Railway Museum and Bury Bolton Street Station, which is a key part of the East Lancashire Railway. And this is Lucy's first shot. I tried to respond in kind, but I'm not as happy with my effort. It's a bit of a boring shot, really, of this clock tower, magnificent though it is. So having taken that couple of photos, we headed towards the railway itself, but we found that it wasn't actually open yet, and this was going to be a theme throughout the day. We both took a couple of shots of the entrance to the platform and the pub at the side of it, and then headed down past the platforms to where some trains were being renovated. We had a chat with one of the guys there, but he was a little bit camera shy, so we decided rather than taking a picture of him, we just took a long distance shot of the workers in general getting on with the stuff on the tracks. And then we headed back up towards the centre of town, and I got quite a nice shot of Lucy going past a interesting mid-century building. I like this because of the colours and the geometrics in the composition. Back in the centre of town, we followed the signs to Bury Market, which we discovered was actually closed because it was a Tuesday and it's open pretty much every other day. So brilliant planning there. But actually it turned out that an empty market was maybe more interesting than a busy market. So we cracked on taking our photographs, Lucy making geometrics out of the roller shutters, me looking for some life amongst the nothingness. I'll save the best to the end of the video, but here are a couple of examples.
Having some fruit.
So we had a lot of fun inside the market, but then we decided to head outside to see if we could get anything in the little pedestrianised areas nearby. And I snapped this couple. It's not a great shot, but I was quite happy with it given the situation. After taking that, me and Lucy both waited quite a while to get exactly the same shot. I think it's clear that Lucy hit the nail on the head with this one, and I was just a little bit off. Her figure is spot on, and her framing in the portrait orientation works much better than my landscape. 1-0 to Lucy.
So we've taken loads of pictures down Bury Market, which was actually closed, but I think that kind of makes it more interesting. It's a bit more, fewer people, but lots of interesting shapes, and kind of clearing up. The fish market was just clearing up, so that was kind of good. I think Lucy got a nice shot of the fish market getting into my shot. I was going to take it, she walked in front of it, but I'll let her off because it's Lucy, and I'm making an excuse for myself. But right, let's go on and see what else we can find down this way.
So we walked a short distance to the edge of the shopping area, and Lucy spotted a really nice old school kind of shop. Just one of those classic buildings that you don't find in modern city centres. Another interesting feature was the multi-storey car park, which seemed to be like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
Probably didn't work because it was stood on the tip.
So I just tried to get a shot with this mural here because there was somebody going past, and if I got them just in exactly that spot, it would be a real person with all these painted people, and that'd be amazing. So we've had a bite of lunch at McDonald's. I took a picture of Lucy, and we are now heading to Viaduct, which may or may not be interesting. I've just tried to take a low, shooting from the hip one of somebody dragging a shopping trolley. I'm not sure if I got it or not. So how are you finding the XA2 so far today?
Yeah, good. I wished it was a bit wider angle at some points. I was trying to fit things in, but yeah, it's been nice. How about you?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. There was one occasion where the shutter didn't seem to fire, but I really love it. I really love this camera. What do you think was the best thing photographically so far?
Probably the market. Even though it was closed, I think it was still interesting photographically because there were lots of colourful signs, nice lighting, and still a few people around as well, where I think if there'd been loads of people around, it would have been quite hard to get into the mix of it.
There was one shot which I thought you were going to get, I really wish you had got, which was a guy with fantastic Mohican and tattoos as going past the market sign, but I think you bottled it, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I was more confident with going, like, take pictures of the shopkeepers, but less so.
Well, they were all happy as well, because you asked, didn't you, and said they said they looked fine. Oh, look at this. That's quite an interesting building there. We've left Bury Centre behind and we're heading out on the sort of ring road to a viaduct. I think that'll be the last stop on this photo tour. So we're wandering down a little track that says that it might be closed ahead to get to this viaduct, Roche Viaduct apparently, but we'll hopefully get there. So we've literally just gone from a main road less than 100 yards away to the middle of nowhere. It's like the countryside, and here is the viaduct, which probably isn't a great photography spot, but we'll see. Might be something better over that way.
This is another shot where Lucy scores over me. Her picture of me is much better than the picture I was actually taking. And this horse picture as well, Lucy's is far better than mine. I was trying to be clever with a CCTV sign, but the horse was in the wrong place. So we're heading back into Bury. A very kind man on his electric bike told us which way to go. So we just need to cross this bridge and we're back in the town centre more or less. But it's been a lovely little rural stroll that I wasn't expecting, so close to Bury town centre. We've come across a little hindrance in our way back to Bury town centre, which is the fact that that is where we were told to go according to Google Maps. That is definitely the end of the road. So we have to turn back and try and find a turn off. So that is it. We've got one shot each left. We've done 3 locations in Bury. We've done the market, we've done the Rock, Roche, Roach, whatever, Viaduct and thereabouts, and we have done, what was the other thing we did?
We've just done around the town, I think.
Yeah,
That's
and
not
around the town. The bit that's not the market. And we've just finished up here in the gardens outside the Fusilier Museum. Good day out.
Yes.
And we must come back when Bury Market is actually open.
Yes, definitely. I've still never been to Bury Market properly.
Yeah. But we'll sign off here and then talk through the slideshow of the photos that we took, and we'll see how we did. Do you still think that you did best?
I'm probably feeling slightly less confident.
She got a really good photo of some pigeons, which I set up. So I'm going to take part.
I will share credit.
Yeah.
Share credit.
Anyway, let's cut to the slideshow.
Back in the studio now, and I'm just going to ask Lucy if she'll pop over from her side of the unit because she has her clothing business over there. Lucy, can I borrow you just for a second? Great. So here we go. Let's start with yours, shall we?
Yeah.
So you've chosen these as your top 3 pictures. Why have you chosen these ones?
It was quite hard to pick 3. I liked quite a lot of them, but there were similar things I liked about some of them. So the one of the shop signage and the guy on top of the roof, I picked that one because I like the composition and I like all the geometrics and leading lines and the colours. I think that all just works. I picked the one with the 2 ladies because I think of all of my street photography style ones, that was my favourite. The colours within it, the juxtaposition of those 2 ladies with the 2 figures on the floor. And yeah, I think it just really encapsulated Bury for me.
It's one where the 35mm seems too wide for me, and I've actually done a cropping it landscape.
Yes, I think that crop does really frame it really well.
Okay, so let's move on to the next.
So the third one I think was just interesting and told, for me, a story of that part of the day of walking somewhere and finding it blocked.
Something I've noticed about your photos from this shoot, they are predominantly portrait orientation shots. Why do you think that is?
It possibly is because I take quite a lot of pictures on my phone and they're mainly portrait. I don't take a lot of landscape photos unless I'm in the countryside.
So we've looked through yours. Let's have a little look through the photographs I took.
I really like this one.
This is my favourite shot that I took of the day. It's a sense of isolation, it's a sense of loneliness, which I try and get across in my work. You cannot see out. Although there is obviously an exit there, it's blocked, there's nothing there. It works to me both compositionally and in terms of its subject matter and themes.
And again, you've got the little signs saying, no, don't do this, don't do that.
That's true. Actually, to be honest, if I could have had it without a fruit and veg sign and without any signs at all, that would be even better, because I want it to be totally anonymous, but that is just not how it was. If I was one of those photographers that manipulates things, I would get rid of the fresh fruit and veg and just make it look as if there were blank spaces where those signs were. But I don't do that. I work with what's actually there.
Would you get rid of the no smoking and the no dog fouling signs?
I would, because they break up the geometrics. a lot of what I do in my work is about things that you're supposed to not do and towing the line and all that sort of stuff, and whether the individual fits into society or society should fit around the individual. It fits those themes, but in terms of composition, you just want that one person to be the only thing that you really notice. There was one other shot I got in the market which I liked because I came close to getting the kind of clean geometrics that you got.
Yeah, definitely. I really like this one. It really does speak of that desolation, and actually it's unlike the other photo. You're not distracted by any of the signage. There aren't the small signs or any street furniture anywhere.
I really need to transplant that woman into that picture.
Somebody would do that, but not you.
Absolutely. That's the thing. That's the skill. So this is the last picture that I took after we headed back, and I just caught you going down the stairs, and I really like this one, and I put this in my top 3 because I like the colours, I like the sense of scale.
Yeah, it's like how the lines of the ceiling are leading in, and then there's loads in this. It's great, like geometrically, and the composition's great.
The last shot that you took when we were just using the film, we both took similar shots, and again I think yours was way better. And this is one where it makes me feel bad because I'm the one that's supposed to be the professional. I took a really boring shot, whereas you took a really interesting shot.
I just really liked the colours of it. I actually thought, because it was so sunny at that point, that it might be really blown out, and the sky is a bit blown out behind it.
I don't think the sky is blown out, so I can see the cloud detail in there. I have to say that the one thing that this trip has actually made me discover is that my camera has a light leak. A lot of the shots that I took in the middle of the day when the sun was at its highest, there's a yellow streak down the images, and I had the camera in my top pocket, so it was easy to access. But I think that meant that the film that had already been wound on got a little bit of light to it, and that in some cases improved the shots, but on this picture it certainly didn't.
I really like the shot.
I think this is one where the light leak actually probably adds something.
Yeah, it does, because it just highlights that midsection of the photo, which is where all the interesting stuff is happening.
I'm glad I got it from the back so he's not identifiable. But yeah, it's just really interesting. And again, I think it would work well blown up large so you can see the trolley more clearly, because on a computer screen, it is tiny.
I think it's good as well you got him crossing the road, because it's that natural break. I really, really like that one.
Okay, so that's about it for this time. Thanks, Lucy, for having that little adventure with me. I hope you'll do something like that with me again, because I really enjoyed it.
Definitely.
And yeah, do check out Lucy's Instagram. I'll put the link down below. Until next time, as always, if you could like, subscribe, share, that does me no end of good. And whatever you're shooting, enjoy yourself, take care, and I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.